Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. We had a gap down open across the board, and that was for buying. Solid bounces. Took a while to get going, but they eventually did. We'll go over another Amazon trade after going break even on a failed attempt yesterday. Round 2 today. See you in a minute. ChartGuys.com. Become a confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Let's check out some charts. So we'll start off looking at the dollar because we ended the video yesterday, or in the middle of the video yesterday, we were talking about best case scenario for the asset bulls out there, including market bulls, would be for a 4-hour lower high and lower low overnight. So there's the reason why we had such a solid gap down open this morning. It was worst case scenario for the asset bulls. It was a confirmed 4-hour trend change and significant follow through. There's a lot of space for a 4-hour higher low to form, and there's a lot of space for a daily higher low to form now. We know we are watching for a weekly higher low, and to be confident that a weekly higher low is being set, we will need a daily trend change. So wherever this bounce tops out, we will need a higher low and higher high to confirm a weekly higher low is being set. If we break 94.74 from here and confirm a weekly trend change to the bulls, don't forget we've been watching this 6-month equilibrium. And that would be a big vote of confidence for our higher low being set here. And again, we could trade within this range for another few years. High, low, lower high. And if this were our higher low, we would be holding support by a solid $2.50. A little bit more than that. $3.50. The middle of this range between 91.75 and 103 is essentially 97 or so. So again, keep an eye out. If the bulls get follow through, bigger picture tightening range. One thing to note, always watching correlations, and this is now the second time. You'll remember if you've been watching these videos consistently, I did an analogy talking about how the initial bounce, we were tick for tick inverse to the dollar with Bitcoin, metals, and the stock market. And then on this next leg up, it was like those assets didn't care as much. The initial wave of preparation was already done, and the analogy was the frost was coming. Everybody makes their preparation from the frost, and then even though the temperature keeps dropping, the preparations have already been made. There's not the same hustle bustle and reaction. So it's looking like something similar is shaping up. On the initial bounce day, definitely saw an impact with a pullback in all of our assets, but a big green day in the dollar. And let's just look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a solid green day. It's trying for a daily bull flag to continue the breakout. We look at gold. Gold green today. And we look at SPY. Not green. Pretty much break even, but bulls bought the dip. And we have not seen the dollar pull back at this point. So best case, again, for the asset bulls would be to see 4-hour consolidation overnight tonight. Inside bar on the 4-hour. Another one is shaping up. Want to see those break for 4-hour consolidation. So that's what we're watching from here. The 4-hour uptrend is our guide on the dollar as to when our daily lower high has been set. And best case would be dollar weakness for bulls to find their daily higher lows. We saw that Bitcoin is in a daily bull flag scenario. Is SPY a daily bull flag? You could make the argument it still is possible. If we break the low at this point, we would certainly say no. So 340, 313 is a must-hold level. There are still a couple little gaps here. And I look at gaps when we're having momentum in a certain direction, but I wouldn't look at this gap at, 340, 163 and say, oh, I can't be bullish because we didn't fill that gap. Yes, most gaps fill, but there's nothing saying we can't go to all-time highs and then in a month pull back and fill that gap. So I am not looking at that gap as a bearish scenario. One thing that is notable is solid bounce, absolutely, on the gap down open, but we've not changed hourly trends. You can see we hit the low of the day, and then it was just a slow grind up. So to prove it tomorrow, we need an hourly trend change. If we see gap up opens tomorrow, I would be a bit cautious as a short-term bull, and I would probably lock in some profit on some bullish positions, knowing that an hourly higher low and higher high is still needed. So must see that hourly trend change during regular trading hours, ideally tomorrow. If we do see that, our daily higher low is set right off exponential 12-period support, and we're then looking back up at our recent high of 354.02. Just like that, we are $6.50 from resistance, and we are $4 and change above support. So we're almost back to the midway point of the range over the last 4 or 5 days. IWM, right off daily EMA 12 support. Very strong day. Have we changed the hourly trend? No. Why do we have such a strong day? In my opinion, the financial sector found a base of support after the bearish reaction to earnings. And we'll look at that in just a moment. But again, great start. Plenty of space for the hourly high or low. But the follow through is needed for us to be looking at potential continuation over 164.24 resistance. QQQ, gap down open. We had a gap at 285.79. That has not filled yet. And we need the hourly trend change. You'll remember in my Amazon trade review yesterday, one thing that didn't have me comfortable was the fact that QQQ was not hitting hourly oversold while Amazon was. QQQ hit hourly oversold this morning. And again, no hourly trend change. I'm viewing it as the low of the day, the high of the day. We will need that trend change follow through. XLV, hourly time frame. Not nearly as convincing a bounce. And we need the hourly trend change. Follow through will be needed. Financial sector, big gap down for buying day. Close at the high of the day. Daily uptrend still intact. Hourly trend change still needed. Clearly, a base of support has been established. We were in a slow bleed in response to the start of the earnings season for the financial sector. Have to see an hourly higher low and higher high into tomorrow. Biotech sector, daily EMA 12 support holding, and all-time high is still right here. Very healthy consolidation, no red flags. You guessed it, we need an hourly trend change. So bulls controlled from the open to the close for the most part. Again, it was slow at times, but have to follow that through tomorrow. Semiconductors, very healthy, didn't even touch the daily 12 period. You guessed it. Need that hourly trend change. Has not happened. Plenty of space. Lows of today on all of these names are must holds tomorrow because we can't form hourly higher lows if we can't hold the low of today. Prove it time. Prove it to end the week for the bulls. Tan weak today, but still held support, building a base 72.25, 72, keeping this a potential bull flag. EMA daily support catching up, and bulls are hoping to shift this momentum back in their favor soon to keep this daily bull flag alive. So for the most part, this daily consolidation at this point, there are no red flags. Bulls are keeping complete control. My benchmark, my line in the sand level short term is now the low of today. If we fade back after the solid bounces and break the lows of today, there's your red flag in the short term. So it's a very simple statement. If whatever name we just looked at holds the low of today, bulls keep full control on the daily time frame. If that level is lost, there is a notable shift in momentum. The VIX, just looking for a daily lower high under 30, looking like that may be set. If we break the low of today, tomorrow, that will be the case, and we'll be looking back down at the low of 24. Just watching these daily lower highs every time, as long as that remains the pattern. Gold daily inside bar, 4-hour time frame, equilibrium. So again, there's another note where I'm looking at correlations between the dollar and all these assets. If we were directly inversely related to the dollar in gold, we would have broken 1882. As the dollar confirmed a 4-hour trend change for the bulls, we did not confirm a 4-hour downtrend for the gold bears. So again, just these tiny little clues. And that happened today as well. QQQ on the 15-minute time frame dropped here and hit a new low of the day. Amazon, which I was trading, which we'll go over in a bit, did not. So that tells me Amazon has a slight bullish correlation with QQQ. This tells me Bitcoin and gold have a slight correlation favoring bulls as far as the inverse relationship with the dollar is concerned. So gold 4-hour equilibrium. We'll see how this breaks probably tomorrow. If we don't break it tomorrow, certainly first thing Sunday night when futures open. 1913 resistance approaching. If we reject from that level and we open tomorrow around 1900, it's possible we stay within this tightening range into the weekend. Silver, not the same. We had a higher high on the 4-hour time frame here. Actually, I take that back. That's the daily chart. Still not the same. So there's that bear break. So silver is doing the tick for tick inverse, or at least it was, with the dollar. the bounce over the last 8 hours is definitely stronger than the dollar pullback over the last 8 hours. But we followed through with that downtrend on the 4-hour time frame for silver, with the uptrend on the 4-hour time frame for the dollar. So I can't say the same thing for silver that I just said about gold as far as its relationship with the dollar. Miners. So miners red today, and it's a bit of catch up. So the past 2 days we've been saying miners are standing out much stronger than these metals. Now we have a day where markets are flat essentially. The miners are down, they're red after closing 40.96. We are down 1.5% today, while the metals were up. So just a little bit of a balancing act. Ahead of the metals past 2 days, behind the metals today, evening things out. But the most important support here is the daily higher low of 39.46. Oil with the earnings report, the inventory report reaction, beautiful bottom fishing play off of 39.04. And I was not paying attention. I wasn't at the computer most of today. But hourly oversold conditions, 15-minute oversold RSI, and some bullish divergence at that low. 5-minute RSI was pretty beat up. It was seeing some divergence. So a really nice bottom fishing play. Just a waterfall drop to support, and then an absolute ripper of a V-shaped bounce. I'd be watching for the potential of a lower high compared to 41.29. Let's see if we can draw some trend lines for a bit of clarity here. I like that resistance line. So that resistance is certainly in play. Support, I don't like it as much, but this is a pattern worth paying attention to. A bit of an ascending triangle. Nope, wrong word. A bit of a, an ascending triangle. So we'll see if we reject from resistance, form a 4-hour lower high. If we do, we'll certainly look for a 4-hour higher low and tightening range. Natural gas, daily higher low is set very quickly. If these bulls can break 2556, the odds remain very favorable to breaking 264. We would have to, at this point, lose the daily uptrend by breaking 2314 to set the weekly lower high. So again, line in the sand, short-term level. If 231 is holding as support, the natural gas bulls have complete control. Just make simple if-then statements and simple, clear levels that meet certain criteria. If this level is holding, then I know this. So let's go over the Amazon trade. So again, the Amazon trade yesterday was an uncomfortable bounce for me. Out break even. Left a little bit of money on the table. It would have been a day maker of a trade, but again, my mistakes leave money on the table. So I see the gap down open, and I see things aligning. So what is aligning for the bulls that have me looking for buying this dip? Number one, QQQ hourly oversold for the first time after a significant bull day run, daily chart run. Number two, Amazon gap fill, 32.88, filled first thing. Number three, daily 12-period EMA support. Of course, Amazon's hourly RSI was a bit beat up. And all of those things have me absolutely make an attempt at that buying of the dip. Trying to find my thread here. So just going to the chat room just to go exactly what I was seeing. So I was copying this for someone else to see, but before the bell rang, not planning on being at the computer much for trading today, but I will probably make a bull entry attempt on the likes of Amazon using pre-market lows as a potential support to play off of, set a stop, close the computer, and let the morning play out. And then right after the bell ring, my market buy, as soon as I saw 32.80 hold, I market bought. I was filled 16 seconds into the day at 32.85. I sold half for a $17 gain. That's pretty much a 0.5% gain. As soon as I sell that half, my break even is now 32.68, which makes me extremely comfortable. Put my stop under the low of the day and let it ride. We then had a 15-minute equilibrium form on Amazon through the morning. So low of the day, high of the day, higher low, lower high, higher low, got real tight. Bull break, end of the day, very convincing. So I played it a little bit more. So I had a half position at this point, break even 32, what did I say, 68? Flipped it for $10, playing off support. So if I'm in a risk-free position, I'll absolutely bottom fish the low of the day, looking for a 15-minute high or low with very small risk. So I did something like enter at 32.90 and sold it at 3,300. Another quick little $10 flip. That drops the break-even position that I currently have that I am swinging, break-even 32.58. So that's my kind of swing trade where even if we see, a 2% lower open, I'm still green on that trade. So that's when I'm comfortable swing trading. Also, the dollar is a factor on my swing trade, knowing that if we were to see 4-hour consolidation overnight, there is potential that the market bulls could keep their control into the morning. So I'll probably take profit on that tomorrow, regardless of how the day shapes up. And that's that. I don't have any new content here at the end of the day, so whatever I pull up, it's going to be old. Don't know what it will be yet. I hope you had a good day out there. I hope you have a great weekend. Looking forward to discussing some more election sector plans as we get closer and closer now. Something like maybe 13, 14 trading days left until the election. And weekend times are election preparation time. Have a good rest of your day and do good things.
So I'm babysitting the ducks while Mom is gone. I assume she's at one of the other ponds. So hopefully she's going to come bombing in here any minute. We'll catch her landing. Put a log for the ducks to hang out on. Looking good, Mom. Looking good, kid. Mom's calling you.